Today, we're diving into a fascinating and controversial topic, clairvoyance, also known as perception at a distance. The idea that a human being can see, sense, or experience something happening far away, sometimes thousands of miles away. To set the tone, let's begin with a quote from Paracelsus, the 16th century physician and philosopher. Man also possesses a power by which he may see his friends and the circumstances by which they are surrounded, although such persons may be 1,000 miles away. For centuries, stories like these have existed. But in this video, we'll explore how scientists have tested these claims, what the results have shown, and how the US government ended up funding remote viewing research for more than 2 decades. Let's begin. Namaskar 1. What exactly is clairvoyance? Clairvoyance simply means clear seeing, but the experiences people report aren't always visual. Some describe seeing distant events, hearing voices or sounds, clairaudience, smelling, touching, or tasting something far away, clairsentience. The common idea is information is obtained without using the 5 senses and without anyone sending it. Modern terms like extrasensory perception, ESP, remote viewing, and remote perception all refer to the same phenomenon, and many cases appear during dreams or moments of unusual consciousness. Number 2, real-life clairvoyance cases. Case 1, the Oregon explosion. A woman on a farm in Oregon woke up suddenly at 3:40 a.m., hearing people screaming. The sound vanished, but she tasted something smoky and unpleasant. She and her husband checked the farm, nothing unusual. Later that evening, they watched the news. A chemical plant explosion at 3:40 a.m. had killed 6 people and caused a massive fire. Her experience matched the event's timing exactly. Case 2, the mother in Wales. One of the most famous cases comes from Phantasms of the Living, 1884. A woman named Mrs. Morris Griffith suddenly awoke in terror. She saw her son, who was thousands of miles away in Africa, looking sick, calling out to her, "Mama." The vision repeated every time she closed her eyes. Days later, a letter arrived saying he had been ill but was improving. But a month later came the real news. Her son had died on the exact night and at the exact time she had seen him. Witnesses confirmed that in his final moments, he repeatedly called out for his mother. She later stated that she had never had dreams like this before or after. The challenge: telepathy or clairvoyance? Scientists faced a problem. Was she seeing what happened, or was she picking up her son's thoughts through telepathy? To separate the two, researchers turned to laboratory testing. The goal was to create experiments where no sender was involved, only a hidden target. That's when ESP card experiments began. 4. ESP card experiments. Starting in the late 1800s and becoming famous in the 1930s, researchers used special cards with symbols: star, square, circle, cross, wavy lines. Participants tried to guess the hidden symbol, but over decades, scientists kept improving the controls to remove any normal explanation. Cards placed in sealed opaque envelopes, cards behind screens, percipients separated from experimenters, different rooms, different buildings. By the 1930s, the controls were extremely strict. Now 5. Criticisms and how scientists responded. Researchers had to deal with a mountain of skeptical challenges. Could participants feel printed impressions on the back of cards? Solution: cards inside sealed envelopes. Could cheating be possible? Solution: the participant never touched the cards. Could the experimenter accidentally give cues? Solution: double-blind procedures, separate rooms, no contact. Could recording errors fake success? Psychologists studied this, finding error rates around 1%, far too low to explain the results. Optional stopping? Solved by presetting the number of trials. By the end of the 1930s, the experimental design was extremely tight. Number 6. Massive results across decades. From 1880s to 1940s, 3.6 million trials, 4,600 participants, 185 experiments. Studies repeatedly showed hit rates far above chance. For the most secure experiments, with nearly 1 million guesses, expected chance, 20%. Actual results, significantly higher. A statistician from Wesleyan University publicly confirmed that the analysis was valid. To dismiss the results as selective reporting, skeptics would need to propose 29,000 missing studies, an impossible number. Even when all early tests were combined, the odds against chance reached 1 billion trillion to 1. Even conservative statisticians called the results robust. Number 7. Why ESP card tests declined. Despite success, these experiments were extremely boring. Participants eventually lost focus, motivation dropped, and performance declined. Scientists needed a more engaging method. That's when modern remote viewing began. 8. Remote viewing experiments. Remote viewing is a form of free response ESP. Instead of choosing from symbols, participants describe or draw what they perceive. This method actually existed since the late 1800s, but it was rediscovered in the 1970s by researchers at Stanford Research Institute, SRI. One of the artists involved, Ingo Swann, documented dozens of striking target response matches. 9. The U.S. government gets involved. In the early 1970s, several U.S. intelligence agencies approached SRI: CIA, NSA, Defense Intelligence Agency, Army, Navy, NASA. They wanted to know, could remote viewing help with intelligence operations? The answer was yes, sometimes spectacularly. For over 20 years, the government funded remote viewing research, spending around $20 million. Some sessions provided extremely specific and accurate information that was inaccessible through normal means. Number 10. Stunning remote viewing examples. The microwave generator case. A remote viewer was simply told, describe a technical device somewhere in the United States. The target, a classified high-energy microwave generator in the Southwest. The viewer drew a machine, matching the shape, matching the housing, matching the function, even stating its beam had a 30-degree divergence angle. That detail was correct. The secret underground facility. Another test was even stranger. A viewer was given only map coordinates. He accurately described a classified underground facility in Virginia, its interior layout, objects in rooms, even the code words written on files inside locked cabinets. A journalist visited the coordinates and found only a field with sheep. But that was exactly the point. The facility was hidden deep underground, and the description the viewer gave was later confirmed by intelligence personnel. Number 11. So what does all this mean? Remote viewing tests were not always correct, but many were detailed, accurate, and impossible to explain through coincidence or guesswork. Even skeptical scientists acknowledged that, open quote, something beyond the known senses seemed to be happening, close quote. Government agencies continued the research for 24 years because, despite imperfections, the method sometimes worked well enough to matter. Closing statement. Clairvoyance, ESP cards, remote viewing. These topics challenge our understanding of reality, consciousness, and perception. Whether future science explains them through physics, neuroscience, or something entirely new, one thing is clear. Across millions of trials, countless experiments, and decades of research, humans seem capable of perceiving more than we currently understand. If you enjoyed this deep dive, like the video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what topic you want covered next. Thanks for watching.